Hello, everybody out there. It is Monday. It is a meh day here in Austin, but I hear it's going to get nicer, which is good. Our numbers are not that high, so that feels good. It is almost the beginning of spring. I got my hair cut over the weekend and colored, and I honestly feel like a totally different person. So I just had to share that. I had not gotten it cut in 7 months. So that's my good news. And I wanted to come on today to talk about selling, which is such a uncomfortable topic. If you are active in my Facebook group, the Blogger Genius, Become a Blogger Genius. Hello there. Hi, welcome. Let's see, Facebook. I'm going to get on my phone because I can't see who the users are because I use StreamYards. Let's see if I can do this really quickly. Anyway, I want to talk about the ickiest topic ever, which is selling. And it is one of the most important topics. Okay. So hello, Nicole. Welcome. Okay. I want to talk about this because I want to take the shame out of selling. The beginning of the year, I did a podcast and I did a blog post and all of this about, so we work with bloggers and we coach them and we are bloggers and I interview bloggers for the podcast. I feel like I sit in a really interesting spot and I can see where people are having successes and where they are struggling. And I work with people in a variety of different verticals or niches. So I cannot tell you, oh my God, it's the food bloggers and they're killing it. Some of the food bloggers are killing it. And those businesses are different, say, than the crafting bloggers or the parenting bloggers or the lifestyle bloggers. Now, I will tell you, lifestyle is not a niche. If you're a lifestyle blogger, you might be struggling for that very reason. But I really get to see this cross section. And the one constant is the people who I think are killing it are doing two things. One, they are selling to their audience. And two, they are showing up live, showing their face like I'm doing right now. Like I'm real. This is happening. This is my life. Stuff could, things could happen. This could go off the rails. Who knows? But at least, you see me and hopefully you feel a connection to me and you feel like, oh, I get her and she's trying to help me and she has a good haircut. Hopefully you like it. Anyway, that kind of thing, or like she's human and she's fallible because I make mistakes all the time and I'm really upfront about it. And so people who are successful are not just pushing out written content with beautiful photos. They are, and I said this, and tell me what you think. Like, I'd love you in the comments to share with me your thoughts on this, like what's triggering you, what you're like, yes, she's on something, and what you're like, never. I totally disagree. Here's the deal. I think today, back maybe 5 years ago, you could be a blogger and you could just put out pretty content and be helpful that way. But you were almost like silent behind your blog. Oh my God, thank you. Oh my God. Wait. Okay. I just have to see who told me that my, oops. 5 years ago, oh, shoot. That's not supposed to happen. That's, oops. Wait, sorry about that. Nicole, thank you for saying that. You are my best. You are my best girlfriend right now. Okay. Anyway, here's the deal. We used to be able to be behind our blog, like I'm Jillian, but really here's my blog, Catch My Party. And in fact, if you look at Catch My Party, you'll see remnants of this. I in fact want to Catch My Party to seem bigger than it was. It was really just David and me. And I want to be like, I'm a big company. So I wasn't out there. And but today you are standing, think of yourself, it's like a retail store or it's a bar or something. And there's somebody outside welcoming people in. And that is you, whether you like it or not, that people now want that. They want to know who the person is behind this blog. What does he or she think about? What's important to them? So if, for example, like recently I've been working with some bloggers who do recipes, but for people with allergies. And immediately my first question is, oh, So you've got allergies? Tell me about your allergies because maybe I can relate to you. You're gluten-free? I'm gluten-free. You know, do you have celiac disease? I do. We want that connection. So let's say you are Southern living. Like, I want to know where in the South are you living? I want on your Instagram for you to show me what your world looks like. So no longer can you be that person who's kind of hiding? No, I don't want to say hiding, but who's behind the blog. I want you to think of the blog as like the store or the bar or something, and you're there just kind of saying, come on in. So for example, for me, and the reason I started Milo Tree was because, no, that's not true. We started Milo Tree, David and me. It's just the two of us. And it's an app, right? It's a piece of technology. It works, but it's a piece of technology. And my friend Paula said, you know, Milo Tree feels kind of cold. It's like this app and you're not cold. So you might have a problem there because people don't know like, who is this and what is this for and stuff. So I said, okay, I'm going to start a podcast because I love podcasts. It didn't feel as intimidating as doing what I'm doing right now, which is putting my face out there. I've learned over time, these are muscles you can build. Trust me, this was not my intention to do Facebook Lives, once a week. But now I like them. I will tell you that. It is weird. Okay, so I started my podcast because I wanted people to go, oh, there's a person behind Milo Tree. And they built it because I wanted to tell the story. We built Milo Tree because we'd Catch My Party. We needed to grow our followers on Catch My Party. I'm married to a guy who can build stuff, who is a technologist. Like that's like part of like my special sauce is I'm married to that guy. And so we built this and it worked. And we said, hey, let's roll this out to other bloggers and we can help. And also we've been building businesses. I have an MBA. Like, let's put all that out there rather than we're this cold company that nobody knows. And that is the reason. So I am standing in front of Milo Tree and I'm going, hey guys, come on in, be my friend. Hopefully I can help you. Hopefully we can talk about these ideas and we sell something. For Catch My Party, we also sell. Oh my God, Tracy, hello. Did you notice I was talking about allergy bloggers? Catch My Party, we do a lot of affiliate sales. So we bring in a lot of Etsy products onto our site and that's what we sell. But we're no longer in that world where you can really make a great living without selling a product. So I had this woman on my most recent podcast and I recommend you guys listen. Here, wait, I'm going to put a link to it. I had heard her on somebody else's podcast. I don't know where. Here, hold on. Here we go. I'm going to put it in the comments. This is one of those, like every so often I do a podcast and I'm like, this is a must listen because I want this to kind of rock your world. And she's so lovely. She's teaching sales and she's not salesy and she has this very like melodic voice and she is really wanting to help by selling. And that's the shift. So I posted in this Facebook group and I said, guys, what do you think about selling? Like, what are your issues around selling? And I got all these great responses. Like, I hate it. I'm horrible at it. It feels so salesy. Like, I don't like it. Now, to be honest with you, I don't like it either. I'm weirdly good. Tell me if this relates to you. I'm good at coming up with product ideas, even working on them. And then noticing, and then I have a hard time launching. Not necessarily because I don't believe in the product, but because I don't want to be rejected. I don't want people to say no to purchasing whatever I'm selling. That is really hard for me. And I've learned this about myself. And my hunch is you might feel the same way. So I want you to know I'm right there with you. But it's one of those things like going live. I push myself to do it. And over time, I get better at it. Okay. So one thing that Nikki and I talked about, Nikki Roush is the person I interviewed. I really liked her and I want to have her back for part 2 is, here we go. Successful bloggers sell stuff. They just do. And so that is something to put in the back of your mind, really not even in the back of your mind where you're like, I'll come up with that someday. No, please start really ideating on it. And then they also do things like show up live like this. And they're and be awkward and feel uncomfortable and admit it and show your foibles, because it makes you human. It makes you human. So that is the second thing to get. And we talk about getting uncomfortable. I teach this. Tracy, if you're still here, you know I teach this, which is building businesses on the internet is all about being okay with being uncomfortable. It doesn't mean that it ever really gets comfortable, but it's more like, oh my God, I'm uncomfortable. Here we go. Ready? Check this out. I need chocolate. Like, this is my saving grace. I always this will be my reward after going live, but like, I need to know that this is uncomfortable and I can still do it. And I can own up to the fact that it's uncomfortable. And I do know that over time, it does get easier. I will tell you it does get easier, but I need to put myself out there and I need to show that I'm hopefully an authority, or that I have some knowledge. I tell you when I don't know. You can, in my groups, people ask questions and I go, I don't know. And usually my answer is go test that, because I can't tell you if that's a good product idea. It sounds good to me, but who am I to tell you that? So it's about being uncomfortable. And we talk about that. So when you are uncomfortable, it's uncomfortable, but no, it's not just you. Everybody's uncomfortable. And when you do this, when you really go, okay, I'm going to commit to this and I'm going to do what it takes to make money, to put food on my table, it's about stepping into this. So I wanted to say that. The other thing we talked about is, what is a business? And if you are not making money with your blog, it is not necessarily a business yet. Clarita, yes. Oh my God. Thank you, Clarita. So I just have to share this comment. Clarita says, I'm always uncomfortable putting my face out there, but it gets easier and it pays off. Absolutely. And there's something about admitting that it's uncomfortable that's kind of freeing, because I promise you, everybody, maybe the extroverts of the world are not having a hard time. But if you are at all introverted like I am, it's weird. It's really weird. But it's kind of like the direction I want to be moving in, which is I don't want to care as much what people think. I want to be able to laugh at myself more. I want to I take myself a little too seriously, and I want to shrink that. I want to kind of shrink that down so I don't have to take myself so seriously. And I think those are really good life lessons. Like, if I'm going to be on this planet, like, I want to live on this planet with more ease and more peace. And I think being able to not take myself as seriously, to risk, to try, to fail, to be uncomfortable, to be in pain, is worth it. So that's just my takeaway. And you can tell me what you guys think about this. So this is really, I just want to say, I want to give you real actionable things. And I also hope that this is a pep talk to say, Jillian's uncomfortable. She doesn't necessarily find it easy. I don't find it easy, but she's doing it. I can do it. So that's the thing that I really hope that by the end of this, you feel that. Because if I can do that for you, I feel like I've succeeded. Okay. So what is a business? A business is a business where you are making money. And if you're not yet making money, I say the way to make money, or to start to, is to think about products and services that you can sell. You might be creating great content. You might be getting traction on Instagram. But until there are dollar signs attached to that, it's not yet a business. And this is why I want to push you, because I want you to have a business. I want you to have the life you want. I want you to have freedom and flexibility. And I don't want it to just sit out here. Wait, let's see if I can. Out here, like as a dream, like someday I want to get you there. And this is what I want to say. So Clarita says, I'm always, yes. Okay. So let's talk about, what do I sell? And that you're like, I don't have any ideas for what to sell. And I would say you probably have an idea or two, but you're not sure if it would work or if anybody wants it. And then you're going to go, Jillian, what do you think of this idea? And I might go, oh, that's a great idea, or that's not a great idea. But who am I to know? I'm not necessarily part of your audience. I might not have the problem that you're hoping to solve for. So I always say this, and it's kind of, I think, frustrating to people in my group. I go, that is great. And as I said, go test it. So a couple things to think about. when coming up with a product? Is there a product easy? Like I would start with a really inexpensive download. Who knows? And you might start by testing it as an opt-in, like a checklist, and then go, could I turn this into a very short, very B- work ebook and sell it for $3? But really in the beginning, you want to test and you want to say, I'm going to sell something inexpensively to my audience, predominantly to my email list, and see if I can get sales. Or I'm going to put it on an Etsy shop that I can set up in a couple hours, and I have a podcast episode about this, and I can test it. And I don't have to spend days creating my Etsy shop. I'm just going to do it down and dirty, and I'm going to test. And then I'm going to say to you, chances are, ready for it, it's not going to work. Maybe it'll work, and I hope it works. But the reason I say that to you is I want you to be in that open space of saying, and it might not work. And that's okay, because I'm going to learn from this. Now, for me, in the beginning, when things wouldn't sell, I'd have to get in bed and feel really bad and feel like people were totally rejecting me. And I so don't understand my audience and who am I to be selling to them. And I would go into a really bad headspace about it. And everything I knew that was wrong with me was true. And nobody liked me. And, all of those horrible things that I could tell myself, all my lack of sales reinforced every single one of them, including like that girl in third grade who didn't want to sit next to me. Of course, she didn't want to sit next to me because she hated me, even though I have no idea. So it's that kind of thing. It's amazing how it can trip you up. And so I want to speak to that and tell you it trips me up. And it still does, by the way. However, like Clarita was saying, it gets easier. So you're going to put something out there really fast. So today, for example, I'm creating a WordPress course. I've been working on this for a while, although not having a lot of time. But like I promised myself, no matter what, it's done this week. And it's going to be B-, and I'm going to get it out there, and I'm going to see how people respond to it, and I'm going to iterate. So that is the whole idea. So you come up with a hypothesis, you figure out how to create something super easy, super inexpensively. You put it on Etsy, you post it to your email list, and you actively sell it. But here's the thing. You're like, but I told you, Jillian, I hate sales. Sales is salesy. Sales is crappy. And I want to reframe that for you and say no, because chances are you're solving a problem for your audience, for your visitor. And if you can solve a problem, they will happily pay you for it. I'm not trying to pull a fast one on you and go like, ha, 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 I sold you a piece of crap. I'm saying my WordPress workshop is good. And if you don't understand WordPress, you should buy it, because I'm going to walk you through all that you need and tell you if you've got questions, email me. I'm available to you. So I call that a win-win. I make money. It's funny. We do coaching groups, and I was in my coaching group, and I said to them, like, I want to help you, and I want to teach you this, and I want to make money from you. And they were all kind of like startled a little bit, like, that feels really uncomfortable that you're saying that. But I wanted to kind of say it as like shock and awe, like, oh, Jillian's saying she's making money from it. Like, I was like, I'm not doing this for charity. I'm doing this because hopefully I have something of value to offer. I really love showing up for groups and teaching them. I find it incredibly satisfying, and I get to make money at it. And then because I can make money, I can do more of it. And I can do I could do more groups, or I could make more products, or I can, who knows, but it's like, that is a win-win. So that's what I want to say to you. If you create a product and it helps somebody, makes them feel good, yes, you want to make money from it. And that's not salesy. That's saying, I see you, I understand you, and I can help you. And weirdly, if I get you to open up your wallet and buy something from me, chances are you're going to take it more seriously, and chances are it's going to help you even more, because weirdly, we value what we pay for. So that's how I want you to start changing your thinking. And the truth is, this is all about testing. I did like a TikTok today where I was just saying, like, if you sell something, it doesn't mean it's the end of the road. What that means is, okay, if you put it out there, nobody buys it. What do? Well, you look at it. You go, hey, is there a way to change the product and tweak my product? Maybe, I always think of it as like, kind of like you've got this, remember those kids' toys where you put my daughter had one of these things where you put the cylinder in the round hole. Well, that's like a sail, like it perfectly fits. Well, it might be that hole and that cylinder aren't perfectly fitting. So, okay, the first thing you do is step back and go, is there a way that I can tweak my product easily to test? Then you go, is there a way I can change my copy? How I'm selling this. So in that respect, I'd say get talking to your audience so that you can hear the language that they are using to describe their problem they're having so that you can mimic it back to them, because we in our own minds have names for things. And like David and I will like name things and we'll call them that. And then we realize, oh, wait, that's not how our audience talks about it. We need to change the way we talk about something. So that's another thing. Can I experiment with price? So I'm selling a printable and it's $19.99, and maybe that's too much. And maybe it needs to be $12.99 or $2.99. Like, can I play around with my pricing? Can I also not take it personally? Because that is that's like the inner work. So the outer work is like adjusting the price and trying out different copy and talking to people in your audience and maybe changing up the product. But the inner work is about then changing the inner narrative. And I struggle with this, but I really try hard to work on this because if I can work on that piece, the rest of it is easy. The rest of it is just kind of adjustments. So, but if I don't have to spend 3 days in bed trying to recover from this colossal fail that somehow everybody's going to know about because I'm such a failure, that's the work. So that's what I want to speak to. Okay, so you want to test and you want to do B- work and you want to be embarrassed about this. And you want to test cheaply and you want to test fast because you want to be able to iterate. So, okay, thank you to everybody. Carissa, Danielle, thank you guys for being here. Really, it's so nice. And I hope, and please in a comment, let me know what you think. Okay, Clarita said something that I have to share. People buy convenience. Yes. Oh my God. So let's talk about this. In fact, I got this question in my group, like my Facebook group. Somebody's looking at wanting to create a product and she wants to compile recipes into say like an evening, like a romantic evening with her husband. And it was kind of like, well, wait a second, if those recipes are already on my blog, what do I do? Do I take them off my blog so that I can sell them? And the truth of the matter is absolutely not. Like any problem that you have, the answer is on the internet. It's not like you can't find it, but are you going to want to spend that time looking for the answer? This is something that has stuck with me forever. It might be 10 years ago. I went to a meetup and the woman behind, her name is Jada Selsner, something like that, who started this Instagram account called Simple Green Smoothies, was there talking. And this was the first time I started to see the power of Instagram. Although I didn't jump on the bandwagon back then, and I wish I had. And what they did was every day they posted a recipe to a simple green smoothie. And their account exploded. Why is this? Because they were just smoothies. They weren't healthy food. They weren't a whole combination of parenting. They were simple green smoothies. The end. So people started following them and they put the recipe in the post every single day. And then what they noticed was people were DMing them going, well, wait a second. Like, remember that smoothie you posted, I don't know, 2 weeks ago? Like, what's the recipe or whatever. So what they did was they compiled like 20 smoothie recipes and they sold it as an ebook and people bought it. Now, all of those recipes are on their Instagram account. There's nothing new except if I want to be making a simple green smoothie every day, it's a lot easier for me if I have a PDF of those recipes than if I have to be scrolling through Instagram. And that to me was like, and they were so shocked. They had no idea that people would really buy this from them. So then they made more smoothie recipes, posted them on Instagram, and sold them as an ebook. So that is exactly what Clarita has just said. We want ease. We want to be led. So I'm selling this course on WordPress. You could go watch a bunch of YouTube videos and learn how to use WordPress, or I can walk you through it. And I can be there for you and I can kind of speak to your questions. And that's why you will step up potentially and buy my course. So be thinking about that. So for this friend who's in our group, who's trying to come up with this kind of experience, like a romantic experience with food and French food and all this stuff, and is like, oh no, I've already posted that. And I'm like, good for you that you already posted it. First of all, people who buy this aren't going to even know that it's on your blog. They're not paying that close attention. So think about what you've already created. I like this, Clarita, because you're sparking me to say, what have you don't have to create something new. Use stuff that you've already created. Can you turn that into a product? Or let's say you're killing it on TikTok. Could you teach a live course on TikTok? Could you put up a landing page with a PayPal buy button and get people to buy that and come show up live and give them a recording of it? Like, think that way, not in terms of, okay, it's going to take me 6 months and I'm going to have to figure this out and it's going to be like this lifelong project, because the truth is, as we're talking, you don't know if it's going to work. You don't. And I don't know if it's going to work for you. And I don't know if what I'm creating is going to work for me. You don't know. And Nikki and I talk about this. You've got to test it. And that is the solution. So when we were talking about, well, what kind of product to create, I can say to you, look at what blog posts of yours are doing really well. What do you know something about? How can you create something simple? But the reality is, until it is right out in front of somebody, you won't know. So know that you won't know. And don't be surprised then if it, say, doesn't sell and that it is not personal. If it doesn't, maybe this is something Nikki said. I hadn't even thought of this. It could be that somebody's not at the right time. Like, they would want to buy it. So it's not like, oh my God, I'm a complete failure. Maybe they'd want to buy my product. Maybe they don't have the money. Maybe this isn't a good time for them. Maybe, who knows? Like, maybe they need to wait. So understand that it might not really be personal. I find this, and I say this in the podcast episode. So we sell Milo Tree, our pop-up, and people will sign up, and some people, not that many, but people will cancel. And a lot of times when they want to cancel, they'll email me and go, please cancel my account. And I have to be honest with you, I take it personally. I'm like, oh my God, what did we do wrong? And so I email them. And I always say, hey, of course, we'll cancel your account. Can I ask you why you're canceling? Because we're always trying to improve our product. And I will tell you that 9 times out of 10, it has nothing to do with me. It's either I'm shutting down my blog, or I'm going in a new direction, or who knows? It's typically those kinds of things. And it isn't, oh, Milo Tree didn't work. It's, oh, there's something going on in my life that's causing me to cancel. And I think that's so interesting. My first instinct is to take it personally. And in reality, if I were to tally up the times, where somebody has said, oh my God, I hate your product, I can't even think of one time where somebody has really said that. So, and most of the people, when I ask them, they'll say, don't worry, I'll be back. And I can't tell you how many people we get who resubscribe. Like it didn't work at that time. Like for example, you want to grow your Instagram following. So if you want to be doing that, I would recommend, yes, use MiloTree and also be active on Instagram. And so they'll be like, oh, this isn't my time where I can focus on Instagram. So why am I paying for this pop-up if I want everything to work together? And then 6 months later or whatever, they upgrade and they come back to us because now is the time where Instagram makes sense for them and they can put all the pieces together. So that's the thing. Like we take it so personally. And chances are it's not personal. It might not be the right time. It might not be the right place. And you have no idea like what that person is going through in their own lives. So do ask people who don't buy, why didn't you buy? So let's say, for example, most people have what I call super fans. And they are the people who always respond to your Instagram posts or who always, the people who like listen religiously, say to my podcast, who email me, who I have if you do this and, I end up having a relationship with you. And I then feel comfortable saying to those people, hey, can I chat with you? Whether it be through text, whether it be through like even getting on a call, like in Facebook Messenger, whatever it is. And I'll ask them like, what's your experience like? And I listen for what are they struggling with? What can I help them with? And what language are they using? So be very comfortable, like recognize if your product, remember, if your cylinder is not going through that hole, something's not right. But it just means there's some like friction somewhere. And so therefore, if you could talk to people to find out like, well, what exactly are you struggling with? Or how could if I were to rework this, what would you want? Those are really powerful conversations to have. Okay, let's see. And that you want to be using, again, other people's language, your customer's language. It's not you selling this product is not about you. Hopefully it's coming through me, but it's helping you. It's not the Jillian show. I say this all the time, but it's really you. So if I say this to people, like, here's a good example. David and I set up people's WordPress blogs, and we ask for you to write an about section on your blog and a photo and stuff. And I can't tell you how many times people write their about section about them. And I always go back to them and I go, nobody knows you and they don't really care about you. What they care about is how you can help them. So it goes back to that idea of I want to set myself up as an expert. Like I want you to know I have a podcast and I have businesses that David and I've created and I have an MBA and I'm really invested. I care about your business because most of you guys are women and I'm a woman and I'm a mom. And if I can make your path just a little bit easier, because I know what this path looks like, I couldn't be happier. Like that to me is my why. But if I'm only writing about myself, it's not interesting to you because you care about you. So I always go back to the people when they write their about section and I say, is there a way you can answer what's in it for your audience? So if, for example, you've got allergies and that's why you're making these recipes, I at least want you to have the words in there. So this is for you who is struggling with allergies, or a kid with allergies, wondering what to cook for your kid. I want to help you do that because I know what it's like. I can empathize, but the reality is it's not my story. It's your story. And so always be flipping it, be shy. This is, I say this, like during the pandemic, one thing that has been incredibly helpful for my mental health is showing up for my coaching group, showing up on these Facebook Lives, interacting with, you guys, because it enables me to take the spotlight off of me and shine the light, hopefully, on you. Because shining the light on me causes me so much anxiety. It's not like I shine the light on me and I'm like, woo, I'm like the celebrity. No, I shine the light on me and all of a sudden my own issues and fears and insecurities come out. But if I can shine the light on you, I fall to the background. And for my mental health, that's good. And therefore, if I can shine the light on you and I can say to you, hey, I see you and I see what you're doing that is really special, and I can help pull that out of you, again, it solves my why. And because, I am more introspective and I can fall into that habit of contemplating my own navel, that's not always a good place for me to be. And my hunch is, for a lot of online entrepreneurs, I think you could probably relate to that. So you want to be always trying to shine the light on somebody else. So when you are creating products, it's not for you, it's for them. When you are writing copy, it's selling the transformation for them. This is going to help their life. And maybe it did help your life, but that's not the main part of the story. So really be thinking about that, and be thinking, this is the other thing. Like when I was saying, my hope is that I can see you and show you where you're special. And so I'm trying to, and not because, I don't mean this like in a dishonest way. I mean this in a really honest way, because I have no vested interest. Chances are I can see your business probably a little more accurately than you can see it with fresh eyes. And so I'm painting a picture for you of possibility, of opportunity, that kind of thing. And I want you to think about doing that for your customer. Show them the future of what would happen if they purchased your product. And so for Clarita, I'm going to call you out. Clarita is my designer friend, and she sells templates for Pinterest pins. And what she does is, so not only can you then create simple, optimized pins that are really beautiful easily through Canva. But that's not what she's selling. What she's selling is the fact that I'm insecure with my design abilities. I'm a busy online entrepreneur, and you have now lightened my load and made me look good. And without a lot of design skill, you've set me up as my design best friend, but you've made me feel better. And I get to show off myself in a really good light because my pins look really professional. I don't have to spend as much time, so I can spend that on other parts of my business. So she's selling me a better version of myself. And so even though it comes in the package of templates, really it's like I will like myself better because my business looks better, because she saved me time. Like she's given me more happiness. And that's what she's selling me. So paint that picture. Okay. Oh, wait. So here's what she said. Oh, this is really funny. My best-selling products are real covers for Instagram for introverts that don't want to show their faces. Poof, there you go. That is exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm insecure. I'm an introvert. I don't want to show my face. But now you've created a solution for me. Chances are, because Clarita is a really good designer, makes really beautiful designs, you're going to make me look good, and you're going to let me not have to embarrass myself, but I know that I need to make reels. So you've lowered my stress level, my anxiety, my insecurities, and you've enabled me to feel confident. So that's what you're selling. It's not that you are selling real covers, but there's a bigger thing that you're selling. So tap into that. Tap into the bigger transformation. And chances are you can look at it from the perspective of, does my product save me time? Does my product ease my stress? Does my product make somebody look better? Those are the things that we all want for ourselves. So see what bucket your product can fit into and go that way and sell that narrative. So therefore, oh, okay. Oh, I think you're saying, what's your blog? And my kids both have food allergies, so I'd love to check it out. I was actually talking about somebody who was here named Tracy, and her blog, this is so funny. Her blog is Burnt Apple. So go check out Burnt Apple because she blogs. And Tracy, if you're still listening, put a link to your blog in the comments. So anyway, so for example, Tracy with her allergy-friendly recipes, like she's selling peace of mind. She's selling being a mom and not being stressed about feeding your children. She's selling probably time, doing something that is saving time and making a family life better. I mean, that's it, like making more peace in her family. So think through what is the final real solution of what your product is solving. Because chances are it's not just solving that, it's solving a larger narrative. Okay, and the other cool thing that I recommend you listen to this episode, because I talked about my sales strategy with Nikki and she critiqued it and gave me some really good insights of how I was selling and how she disagreed with my sales strategy. And she's gotten me to rethink how I sell our courses. So we do these 6-week coaching groups. And I usually get on a call with somebody and go, hey, look, let me check out your blog and here's what I would change. And she said, one, I'm kind of giving it away by doing that. But two, I've kind of like wrapped, like I know, let's say, how can I describe this? Okay, so I'll draw a picture. Like, let's say I can offer something, can you see this? Like this big in our coaching group. And I get on a call with you and I go over your blog and give you ideas. And I've offered you something this big right here. But you think like at the end of the call, oh, I got it all. And you don't know that there's this big circle sitting behind the little solution I gave you. So you could be like, well, I did it. I talked to Jillian. She gave me a bunch of ideas. And, that's like, I'm done. And so it's a little bit like, but I know there's the big circle, but you don't know that. So how do I convey to you that there's a big circle of information, support, all this cool stuff waiting for you? So she was like, don't even offer the little circle. Listen to what they're saying and address where they are. And then just say, oh, and here's, we talk about that in the big circle. We get to that in the big circle, but don't solve it for them in a small way because they'll think that's the entire solution. And I'd never thought about that because here's why. Again, I'm in myself. I know I can offer you this big circle, but you don't know that. So this to me is like a little taster, is like an appetizer, but you think that's the whole meal. So why would I pay for this? Because you don't know that there's a meal waiting for you. So I thought that was really just like blew my mind and made me evaluate my own strategy. So don't think that I'm not sitting here learning from my guests or learning from you guys and seeing what works and what doesn't. That's honestly one of the best things about, what I get to do. Okay, so those are, and then she said this, and I had to say this. Sales are things you do with people, not to people. So I'm not selling to you. I'm selling with you. And I think that I'm helping. Sales is helping. Sales is not, I pulled a fast one over you. I tricked you. I got you to give me money that I don't deserve. It's, I deserve this money because I can really help you. And the more money I make, the more help I can provide. And this is the mindset shift that I think is so deep. And I have to continue to internalize this. So I hope that this has been helpful. I feel like this is a topic I want to keep visiting over and over again because I got a lot of, what would I say? Posting, like there's a lot of energy around selling because it's so uncomfortable and I want to demystify it and I want us all to help each other to think about products. So what I'm going to do actually after I get off this Facebook Live is I'm going to post in my Facebook group, what is a product idea you've had that you haven't yet created, to put it there to get us all thinking in terms of creating products. And then to see how, if I can spark that in you guys, especially those that go, oh, I don't have any products, or, oh, that seems too difficult. Like, let's help each other to ideate and then to create. So that's what I wanted to say. So I hope you guys are having a great Monday. Honestly, again, doing this feeds me, makes me feel happy. And if I can help you guys, monetize and live the life that you want to live with the freedoms, being an online entrepreneur affords you, I feel like what could be better? So anyway, so thank you for listening. This has been a lot of fun. If you have any questions, reach out to me, DM me, message me, whatever. But let's all start trying to shift the narrative around selling, because this is where I think people really can move the needle on their business. All right. And so I put the link to that. And then just so you know, Wednesday, in 2 days, my next podcast drops. I like that term. I think it sounds official. And I'm talking to #Jeff, who I've had on my podcast before. Many of you will know who it is. He's an SEO expert, because there is an SEO update coming in May. Google update coming in May. So we talk about that, how to make sure that you're thinking about your blog in the right way to make that happen. All right. And I will check in again with you guys soon. And thank you for showing up. And I will talk to you soon and start thinking about selling. Okay. Bye-bye.